Hiya humans! Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's doing good. So some announcements before we start today. Da-da-da-da. First off, so all these announcements you should have gotten theoretically now or soon-ish, Wednesday morning. Obviously I uploaded these earlier, and so if you haven't received these updates, these announcements in email form by Wednesday, they should be coming. It should be Wednesday morning. Um, so first up is the mini quiz. Note that so I asked people on Discord whether because so some people were asking to push the mini quiz back to like Saturday or Sunday because they have a lot of midterms happening this week, and so they want at least like a day to study all the material, right? Because we had a shit ton of material, 2 weeks worth. Um, and so I asked the Discord what they thought because by pushing it back, that means I can't start the final for everyone. And so it seemed like there was a mix, like most people wanted Saturday, but a good chunk also wanted Friday. Almost no one wanted Sunday. And so what I decided is to kind of mix the two together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the quiz be from Friday at 10:30 until Saturday. So that's 10:30 a.m. Saturday at 10:30 at night. So p.m. 10:30 p.m. if you're not used to this notation. So it'll be open for 36 hours. So that means if you want to do it Friday night, you can. If you don't want to do any work on Saturday, you can just do it Friday and get it done with. And also, if you do need that extra night of studying or like Saturday to study to catch up on things, you can do it Saturday. That's perfectly okay. Remember, you'll have, it should be a 30-minute exam. If I time things correctly. But I gave you 45 minutes on Moodle, just in case there's any problems, because we all know how much fun Moodle is. Just note that I'll be asleep Friday night. So if you're trying to do it like Friday really late, like after 10 or Saturday before like 8 a.m., I'll probably be asleep. So if you have a problem, I can't solve that until the next day. So just note that. So it's a 30-minute exam. There used to be 6 questions, but now there's 5 questions. So not six, there's now 5 questions. And if I'm recalling correctly, 3 are multiple choice, and 2 are short answer. And we'll have a practice on Friday. So Friday's lecture will be practice exam. Friday lecture is practice. So it'll be practice for both the mini quiz and the final exam. So both people should watch it. Anyway, so hopefully that's okay. So basically, if you have accommodations, these times have been extended. So don't worry, you'll have more than enough time to finish a quiz. If you do have problems, as always, just let me know and we'll figure something out. So what this means for the final exam, it'll start. So I'm going to send things out on Saturday, exactly like we did midterm 2. Oh, yeah. So remember, I'm going to state this again. Rewind 1 sec. So remember, only take mini quiz if you are taking 70% option. In other words, if you don't want to do the final. I've now warned multiple times And so I will not take any excuses really. Um, if you have like, no, that's not true. I will. Um, if obviously you do take the mini quiz and you didn't want to, you're gonna need to let me know sooner rather than later, so I can send you the final. I won't send the final unless you tell me. Um, but if you take the mini quiz, I'm assuming you don't want to take the final. And so if you want the final right away, then don't take the mini quiz. It will only delay it because I won't be able to see your email of, oh no, I wanted to take the final. So just do it right away. This is going to be better for for you, basically. This is a you thing. I don't mind sending it a day or two late, but you'll have less time. So it's up to you. So the final exam, this will start Saturday late at night. So kind of really Sunday morning. And then you have 8 days to complete. So it's due Monday, 13 April at 5 o'clock. I tried to talk with the math department to like give us a few more days so that you all have more time, since I know you have a million exams. And they started yelling at me, so I was like, I'll just leave it. It's okay. So I tried. They really don't. They actually don't even like that I'm giving you guys this much time. But yeah, that's a different battle. But they approved it, so at this point, we're good to go. Um, what else? There's a lot of announcements today. All of this is in the email. So number three, midterm. A midterm. We're almost done grading. Term grading. We should finish by Wednesday. And then I'll have the grades up online by Thursday. So grades up. I say afternoon because Thursday morning I actually have to go grocery shopping. So I have to brave the crazy world outside, and put myself into harm's way, in order to go buy food because I need food. So hopefully, I don't catch anything, and everything goes well. But yeah, so that, and from what I understand, some grocery stores have lines. I don't know how long they've been taking, or if it takes like a few hours, or like what's up. So I don't know exactly when I'll be back Thursday from grocery shopping. I'm gonna go early morning, but just a warning, if it's not done by afternoon, send me a message or something. But more likely than not, it's because I'm sitting there actively working on it, or I'm still at the grocery store waiting in line. So just a heads up. For midterm solutions, they should be up online, so they're online already. Online. Note that there's 23 versions for the exam, so I did not put all 23 solution sets, because I literally I don't have time to write all those out. I love you all, but already I haven't been dancing as much as I normally do because I've been putting all my time into this class. So yeah. But what I did do is I put one of the for the related Greece questions. I put all of the 6 questions, all the different types of questions that I put. So they should all be there. Just some of the numbers are going to be different. And then for the other questions, the steps for solving them are almost exactly the same. And as you notice, most of them had some easier solution. If you kind of followed the practice exam that I did. I know these were slightly more difficult. I didn't think they were that much more difficult, but apparently they were, so I'm sorry. But yeah, so that the solutions are there. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I just can't do all like all 23 versions. So speaking of midterm 2 and its difficulty, midterm 2, so compensation, right? So I mentioned this last time, where I said like the midterm was way too difficult. It should not have taken that long. When I had timed it, it seemed like it should be okay. But I don't know why my timing was off. Maybe it could be like all the stress from the virus, that made everything take longer, or like I don't know. Anyway, like I have to relook at how I'm doing my numbers. But the point is, I gave an exam that was way too long. But on that note, first I want to say like I'm super super proud of all of you, because even though we haven't finished grading, like for example, question 2 hasn't been graded, you guys are already above the average from midterm 1. So like you guys, even with a more difficult exam, you destroyed the midterm. Like you guys did so much better. Like I'm super proud of you. And even like related rates, you guys got over 80, like the average was about 80%, I think. I didn't look at all of them. But from the first 10 versions, the average was like 79.6% or something. So like you all are doing phenomenally. So I want to say congrats. Like you guys are learning super much. You all rock. But like I'm still gonna compensate you for the extra time that it took, because like it did take you guys more time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase everyone's grades. Increase everyone's grades. And I'm going to do this. It's kind of like, so I'm basically doing 10%. So everyone's grades will go up by 10%. So for example, if there's 3 people, we'll do 4 people. 4 people, no, 3, it's okay. 3 people. One person got 40%, one person got 70%, and one person got 95% or something, right? And so their grades would go up to 50, 80, 105. But I also want to make sure, so this is before extra credit. Extra credit. But I also want to make sure someone gets 100. Make sure someone gets 100%. So basically what this means is if, for example, this person didn't get 95, they got 85. If you notice, if I increase their grade by 10, I'll get 95%. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'll bump this even further and make this 100 and compensate everyone equally. So I'll add another 5% to everyone. So really what I'll do is make this 15%. So it's going to be so min is 10%, but it could be higher. So just note that, but it could be higher. And so far, looking at the numbers, that means it's going to make most people pass the exam. So that should be good news for everyone. Like I said, again, I'm sorry that it was so difficult, that it caused stress, but hopefully this helps relieve some of the stress, and allows some more of you to be able to take the mini quiz, so you don't have to do the final, right? One other thing, so I think this is number 4. So last thing, quizzes. So when I first wrote the quizzes, when I first started doing them, I wanted them to be like an easy kind of thing where you just show up, it takes 2 seconds and you're done. But over the course of the semester, I don't know why, but like I started asking more like questions that had you think about math in like a different way. Like remember how I would ask you like write a solution, or like make you do things that made you look at math differently, because I saw a lot of people were just trying to solve steps and blah blah blah, and I wanted you to actually understand what mathematics is more than that. And so I tried to start making the quizzes a little different, and because of that it became harder. And so I was like, well, okay, this kind of went away against the whole easy premise that I had for quizzes. So what I'm going to do is what we had before was we only counted before we were before I can't erase. But we had said in the very beginning, before we said we would drop 2 of the 9. So I'm going to change this and I'm going to say we're going to drop the lowest 3. Drop lowest. So this should help bring up a few of the quiz grades. I know a lot of them are a few of them are very low because some people got like 10 or 20% for a few quizzes because they were more difficult. So I'm going to drop the lowest 3. This also, I know a lot of people also had problems because they were sick or like something came up or like whatever. So this should also help resolve some of those conflicts that came up over time. I think that's it for announcements. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask. If you have midterms this week, good luck on your midterms. I believe in you. You can do it. Destroy it like you destroyed our midterm. But hopefully it doesn't take as long as our midterm. But yeah. Okay, so let's start lecture. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of review from Monday. So remember we went over a massive recall of the definite integral. So that took about half the time. And so we ended up with some examples of the definite integral. Here we did the definite integral of sine of x from 0 to pi. And then we also did it with this big complicated thing, which we didn't have to worry about, remember, because we took the area from 5 to 5. So basically didn't do anything. We worked on another example, and then we started talking about indefinite integrals. So indefinite integrals, if you remember, these are just, I guess we'll use this. These are just integrals, but that give us the antiderivative. So we're using these to find the antiderivative. We're not using them to actually calculate what the area is. It's basically a tool to kind of help us. And so remember how we kind of gave this notation for our antiderivative. We said, so normally we have f of x plus c is our general antiderivative. And then we said the indefinite integral is going to be denoted by the integral from f of x dx. And so this is just going to be notational. It's just an easy way for us to be able to communicate what these things are. And then we kind of went over 1.5 million properties of these indefinite integrals, right? So we have 1 million of these. And then I also gave a warning between indefinite and definite integrals. Remember, they're not the same. The main difference is indefinite does not have limits, whereas definite does. Definite actually calculates something. Indefinite gives you the antiderivative. So we went over 1 million different properties. And then we tried some things out. So this is kind of what we ended with last time. Yeah, so a few more examples. I want you to have a good day today too. Actually, I'll just leave it there. It doesn't matter.